Man plays God with gene-edited babies. Could it shake your faith? Hello, this is ChartGPT Today. Gene-edited babies. Of course, we've been hearing reports out of China. Perhaps others are doing it as well, but they're creating what they call CRISPR babies. What does that stand for? It basically stands for Clustered Regularly Interspace Short Palindromic Repeats. Of course, that's a fancy word for playing around with the DNA to create new beings. I'm not going to try to go into it, but it kind of gives you an idea here on this particular chart, how they, or infographic, how they do this kind of stuff. Of course, they think that they perhaps make humans smarter, faster, stronger, better, almost even creating a new race. Of course, that's kind of frightening. We already have a battle between which race is better, smarter than the other. And the question there becomes, could we actually create a new race that truly is better by all measures? So this is quite a frightening event. So a lot of people are wondering if this is a good thing or a bad thing. And here's the kind of a chart. I'm more worried than enthusiasm about the idea of gene editing babies. So some are enthusiastic, some are worried. So it depends on where you sit on that. So actually there's somewhat of a, almost 50% are either very or somewhat supportive, at the same time worried. Of course, you know, they always say that humans, the DNA in humans are very similar to different animal species that already exist. Here's a kind of a simple chart about humans, mouse, chickens, fish, horses, and fruit flies. The different similarities are identical. And so they're thinking that, well, are humans merely a product of the DNA and the neurons in their brains? Or is, in fact, there is some kind of a metaphysical soul that makes humans humans? And so no matter how much gene editing you do, it's not going to change the soul of a being, because it is not necessarily of this world. Of course, this gets into religion, which is quite interesting topic there, about what would we actually create. Of course, do we believe in God? Well, the trend in God is going down. People believing more and more in science, I guess. And you see the chart here, what the belief is down to 81. Of course, that's believing any God. All kinds of definition of what God might be. Here's another poll on about how do they think it's a true God, where it actually is real, not just a theistic God. 42% of Americans believe in God and hears their prayers and intervenes. So that's quite interesting. On the juxtaposing of that, people believe that perhaps we are in the dawn of an age of new beings, extraterrestrial, even here on this earth. And of course, what do people believe in? UFOs and aliens? Well, 57% believe aliens do exist. Maybe we're creating the aliens. Here's one recent one about how kind of a saucer type thing was reported in the Andes and down in Chile. Kind of interesting photos that recently come out. You can check the description links for the references on this. Is this really a UFO? So people believe in God, but they also believe in UFOs and perhaps new species either coming from outer space or actually created in the lab. This kind of brings you to a point is, does this shake your faith in God or your religion? So there's kind of like come up with two ideas here, two events that would have significant religious consequences. The first one obviously would be the arrival of ET, or is God doing the same gig on other planets, which is kind of interesting. The second is the soul not metaphysical? Is it purely a product of neurons and biology, etc., etc.? There is no such thing as what biblically is called the spirit in man. And there's a couple of verses that kind of refer to that there on the notes there. Can that be proven? Well, both of these items here might be able to be proven. Many people think we can prove this here in the next 20, 30 years or not. So it's kind of an interesting scenario. Do you think that we are going to create superhuman beings, or maybe meet ET himself from other planets? And will that affect your faith? Take our online poll and you tell us, would that actually affect your faith if one of these things could be proven beyond a shadow of a doubt or not? Also take a look at the AI in terms of how we can actually create smarter, better beings, if in fact that is possibility. A fairly interesting topic for ponder. Don't forget to subscribe.